Now let's go ahead and understand the new Divi 5 page builder. If you're familiar with a previous version of Divi, you can see the page builder has changed a lot. Divi has completely redesigned the way that you build website pages. Let's first take a look at this bar on the left-hand side. If we click on layers, here you can see the structure of your content. For example, here we have the hero section, this blue section here. If we click on this arrow, that's going to open up this row, and you can visually see this row here, this green box. Then, if we expand row, we have these columns. Let's expand this first column, and within this first column here, which is on the left-hand side, you can see we have these widgets or elements. We have one heading here, another heading down here, a simple text element, and then a button. Divi has migrated their visual builder to a more structured builder like Elementor. Again, we have another column here, and this column on the right-hand side contains this image. Okay, let's minimize this hero section. And again, you can see our page is made up of these different layers, these different sections. If we navigate down, you can see we have this services section. Again, let's expand services. We have two rows. We have a row here and a row down here. Within each row, we have a column. Let's expand this column. And within this first column here, we have two headers. Let's expand this row here. And again, you can see the green box row. We have two columns with these elements inside. Okay, let's minimize this services section. This gives you a good idea of the structure of your different website pages. Below layers, if we navigate across, we have inspector. This gives you an idea of your styles and content within each section. So if we navigate down here and click on this section, this is the services section. You can see the different colors within this section, as well as content, icons, as well as text, and then presets, which you can simply make changes to. Okay, let's close out of these. Inspector, and layers. Below this, we have Variable Manager. This is a central hub for managing global design elements like colors, fonts, images, and text. These can be reused across an entire website. Okay, let's close out of that. Then below this, we have Wireframe View. Again, this is a different view type. I like this because Divi now gives you options for viewing your content. And depending on the style that you like, whether you like to view layers, or a wireframe, you can jump between the two and leverage the view that best suits you. Again, if we navigate up to the top, let's go ahead and open up layers 2. Within the wireframe, you can see we have the hero. This is the top section of this website page. Then within this section, we have a row, which has two columns, and then elements within these columns. Okay, let's close out of layers. If you prefer this wireframe view, you can then continue building out your website pages using this wireframe view. If you want to add additional elements, click here and select the element, also called modules inside of Divi, that you want to add to your pages. Let's close out of this. You can also add additional rows, choose the structure of your rows. Again, let's close out of this. And again, you can add additional sections. Okay, let's close out of this and close the wireframe view. Then if we navigate down here, we have X-ray. Let's click here. This X-ray mode gives you a visual display option, placing distinct borders and outlines around all your design elements on a page. This includes sections, rows, columns, and modules. Again, depending on the way that you like to design your website pages, you may find this helpful. Okay, let's unselect X-ray and make some changes to this content. If you want to make changes to a module, double click on the module. And as you can see, this is a text module. So I'm going to change this text. And you can do that by simply typing. Okay, mixed reality and CGI content for brands. I could do the same with these text modules here. Now, if I click on a module, let's click on this module again. That's going to bring up this content on the right-hand side. If I click on text, we can leverage AI across all our text modules to help us create content. Below that, we have the heading. Again, you can make changes here or on the page module itself. We can view links to link the specific module, as well as manage elements, the background. For example, if we click here and add a background color, that's going to add a background to the specific module. Okay, let's close out of this and delete the background. Again, let's navigate down and click on this module here. This is a button module. We can click on this gear icon, and that's going to bring up the button settings, the button content on the right-hand side again. You can see the structure is similar for most modules. We have text. Let's go ahead and change the button text to free consultation. If we navigate down to link, and I'm going to add a link to my contact page. Button link target. I want this link to open in the current tab. Again, we have elements. If we navigate over to design, we can make changes to the overall design of each module. We have layout. We currently have block selected. I'm happy with that. Under alignment, we can change the alignment. I'm happy with left aligned. Then we have text, the button itself. Again, we can play around with the button background, border, text, and icon. We can add spacing, add box shadow. I'm going to add this, and let's minimize this. And we can add other things like transformations as well as animations when the page loads, or if the user hovers over a specific element. Let's click on slide. If we navigate over here, you can see we have an image element. Let's navigate over to content, select image, and change the image. I'm going to quickly upload an image. Okay, so here we have the image. I want to make it smaller. I'm going to change the height, and I'm happy with this. Again, we can navigate through each of our pages, and we can make changes to the content, as well as the design over on the right-hand side. Okay, once you make any changes, simply click on Save. Now we can navigate up here to quickly preview what our designs look like across different screen sizes. Here we have desktop, let's click on tablet, and then what you want to do is preview your content across these different screen sizes to ensure it's responsive. Now if we navigate up here, and for example, click here, you can see we're editing this item, whether it's a section, row, column, or module on this size screen. So for us, you can see we have this image module selected, image here, and we can edit this on desktop, tablet, and mobile. Okay, so again, you want to take the time to make sure that your content is responsive across screens. Let's navigate back over to desktop. You can manually adjust the sizing here, and across here, we can click this to change to dark mode. We can undo and redo changes. We also have this history. So if you make a bunch of changes, you don't like your changes, you can always revert to a previous version. We can export and import, clear a layout, add a specific layout or element to your library, exit, preview, and save. Now let's navigate across, click here, and here we have page settings. Make sure you take the time to customize your page settings. Okay, let's exit out of this. Okay, now let's leverage Divi 5 to build a website page from scratch. Let's navigate back to our dashboard and add a new page. Then click on Use Divi Builder. And if we navigate up here, you can see we have our section. Within this first section, we want to add a row. Here we can add the structure of our row. I'm going to select these 2 rows, and that's going to automatically generate this module option. Let's close out of this. Okay, so now we have a section with 2 rows where we can add our modules. Click here. Let's type in text and add a text module. If we navigate up here, we can simply add another module by clicking here, and let's type in header. So here we have heading. Now let's say we want this module, this heading module, above this text module. We can simply click, drag, and drop to rearrange the different modules. Now we can also navigate over to the left-hand side and click on wireframe view. Like I mentioned, we have section, row, and modules in here. We can click and drag the different modules to rearrange them via this view. Okay, let's close this wireframe view and continue building this page with Divi. Let's click here and add an image module. Let's go ahead and add an image. I'll just use this default image for now. Let's navigate over to design and let's click on border and change this slightly. Okay, so I'm happy with that border radius. Let's minimize this option and come down to box shadow. I'm going to add a box shadow. Okay, let's navigate over to this element here, this module, and click on add new, and let's add a button. Here's the button element, and for this example, let's change this to learn more. Add a link, which will take the user to our services page. Now let's navigate over to design, box shadow, and add this shadow here. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Again, we can make changes to this specific element so that it's responsive on tablet as well as on mobile, these different screen sizes. What I can do is click here, navigate down to heading text, and make this larger on mobile. I'm happy with that. Okay, let's navigate back over to this desktop view and change this content here. And I can also do the same with this content here. Now to create a new section, simply navigate down to section, and we can leverage AI to generate a section for us if we like. Or if we click out of here, we can navigate over to this plus icon, and we can add a pre-made layout, a saved layout if we've saved one from a previous design, or we can build with AI. Okay, for now, I'm going to click out of here, add a new section, this layout here. Let's close out of this module setting and navigate over to this row layout. And we can change the structure, for example, and again, we can continue building out this page. Again, we can add a button. If we navigate over here, we can add a icon list and these other modules. Take the time to play around with each of these different modules. So as you can see, it's incredibly straightforward to build out your website pages with Divi 5. Again, once you make any changes, click on Save Draft. And when you're ready to publish your website page, simply click on Publish.